everyone. It's Corey and Tara Kugler, the Kugler team with Red Moose Realty. Today, we're really excited and privileged to be talking to Melody Lachance, who manages the Barrhaven branch of the charitable organization Empties for Paws. And as if that doesn't keep her busy enough, Melody also oversees a Facebook page she founded, Barrhaven Bulletin Board and Community Watch.
Welcome, Melody.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks for joining. There's so much to talk about. We know that time is precious. So we're going to ask you a few questions so our viewers can get a better idea of what you do and how they can help. So we're going to start with your role with Empties for Paws. And so my first question is, what made you decide to take charge of the Barrhaven branch of this charity, and why is it so important to you?
I started when I retired in 2011. I knew that I would be doing something volunteer, because I have volunteered for many things over my whole lifetime, basically. So I heard about a lady in Vanier, actually, who was trying to help street cats and dogs. And I thought, what could I do? So I reached out to her, and she was looking for blankets and things like that. So I thought, well, I can check in my own community and see if I can help. So I started collecting pop cans to raise money, because I found out that my parents lived in the country and they would always recycle their pop cans for cash. And so I started doing that. And then people started saying, well, I don't have much pop, but my husband's terrible and doesn't take his beer cases back to the beer store. So I was talking to a lady in Renfrew who was actually the founder of the Ottawa and Valley Lost Pet Network, for anybody who's ever heard of that.
Yes.
And she was looking to do something else. So we started talking about it, and she thought, well, what a great idea it would be to see if this could help rescues. And we knew that, hockey teams and cheerleading teams and school trips and everything, have been doing this for years. So she put together the Empties for Paws. She designed everything, she created everything, and she put it out there to see if people would be interested in joining it. And she started it in November of 2015. And myself and a partner joined them in January of 2016. Huge animal lovers, always had lots of pets growing up. A wedding gift from my sister was a cat. So
great gift.
Yeah, it was a wedding gift. And so it just, rolled from there. I mean, we were always compassionate and loved our family pets. And we saw how horrible, some animals were just not being cared for properly, being surrendered or being abandoned. So it was just my way of simply feeling that this was something that I could do with support of my community and anybody else who was interested in doing it. So I stayed with a partner for 2 years, and then I've been on my own since December of 2018, I believe it is, or 17. Anyway, so for the last 3 years, I've been doing it on my own.
Wow.
The woman is still doing her own branch here in Barrhaven as well. There is a few branches that are connected to rescues directly. So that, it's a wide variety of what you want to do and how much you want to do.
Very interesting.
So, when it says Empties for Paws, you usually think of things like pop cans and beer bottles and wine bottles. But I believe that there's a lot more that can be donated. Is that correct? Can you explain what types of donations that you accept?
Sure. Like every branch decides on what they want to collect, obviously. So I collect e-waste. I've had to tone it down a little bit because I am getting older, and it is. So I have toned it down, but I'll take like cell phones and laptops, DVD players, like that kind of stuff, cables, old extension cords, copper, Canadian Tire money. I had, unfortunately, Canadian Tire's not taking their paper money, but Home Hardware in Manotick had a deal on last month, and I was able to buy, I think it was 12 boxes of litter that was distributed to a couple of rescues using strictly Canadian Tire money.
Oh,
And strings of Christmas tree lights. Like I've been cutting strings of Christmas tree lights for the last couple of weeks because now people are finding their lights are dead and they don't want to just throw them in the garbage. So we're recycling and saving, you know, the landfill as well. So I have a whole list on my Facebook page of what it is that I collect.
Okay, great.
And people, you know, a lot of times will email me or call me and say, you know, I have this, would you take this? And, you know, and stuff like that. Copper is a big thing, like little pieces of copper when people renovate and things like that. So pop cans, definitely empties of any kind. Like you buy it at the beer store, the liquor store, I'll take it back.
You're taking it. We're also going to post a link to the website at the end of this, so that way people can find out exactly what they need to donate.
Sure,
so
thank you. That's right.
So with being such a worthy cause, how can we get mobilize the community essentially to get more involved? What could they do to get more involved in the charity?
Well, what I've been very fortunate is I have a few ladies now that are helping me pick up and cash in, which is great.
good.
I have a few drop-off spots in Barrhaven, which is beneficial for people that can drop it off easier and not always bring it to me if they're not living in my area. And it saves me time as well, because if I can go to one spot and pick up a few drop-offs, that saves me time as well, because I have to sort it the way the beer store likes to take it. If there's beer cans, we have to count the beer cans. Pop cans is by weight, so I don't have to do anything. But if they're mixed together, I have to sort them all out. So even just doing that is helpful for me.
Okay, good to know.
So just to expand on that, when you say there's drop-off spots, are there specific times and places that people can drop off, or is it just any time?
They can drop off at any time, and the addresses are listed on the page of where they go. I have one in Half Moon Bay. I have one over by Costco. I have two in Old Barrhaven. I'm in the Longfields area. I actually have two ladies now in the Richmond North Gore area that are drop-off spots for people out there. One of my helpers is just sold her house here in Barrhaven, is moving out to Kemptville. She already has 5 people that are going to be dropping off to her in Kemptville.
Fantastic.
So it's great. And I have one drop-off spot in Canada. Plus I work every afternoon in Canada, so I do pickups in the Canada and Stittsville area.
Whoa.
Busy. Wow,
So
that's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I even have, I forgot, I have a trailer, like an open trailer, in the Briar Green neighborhood. People offer to put a open trailer in their driveway, and their neighbors are just dropping stuff off there. So we're going easily twice a week to empty out trailer and cash in. Yeah, it's been amazing. We're over $25,000 already for this year.
That's incredible. I read that on one of your pages. Just remarkable. But busy, right? So
Busy.
Yeah, busy. Yeah. So that's amazing. So thanks so much for explaining some of the Empties for Paws. I know we can probably go on and on about Empties for Paws. My mother and I will certainly be donating our time, and we encourage the community as well to do the same.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for chatting with us about Empties for Paws.
Thanks. And just on a side note, if people aren't in the area and, they don't want, it's not easily accessible to get to me or me to get to them, there are branches all over. They're all across Ontario. They're even out in the Maritimes. They're even out west now. So it's really growing, and especially during COVID, the rescues can't do their big fundraising events that they normally would do. Right, so they appreciate every bit that they can get. And the pet value stores have been great. The one in Stittsville has did a food drive for me in October, for the month of October, and they donated over $4,000 worth of food that was given out to the rescues. And I support dog and cat rescues, plus an emergency food bank for owners when times are tough, like now, called the Pet Resource Bank. It's like an emergency food bank for owners. So it's incredible, all over the place.
Yeah. Good to hear. So you don't have to be in one specific location. You can literally be anywhere, and help.
Exactly. Just look up Empties for Paws as the main thing.
Yes.
And
Yeah. And then from there, just
you can find a branch that's closest to you or a rescue that you might be interested. They'll all be listed. Yeah.
Fantastic.
that's wonderful.
Well, I think what we'd like to do now is move on a little bit to your wildly popular Facebook page, the Barrhaven Bulletin Board and Community Watch. And we see you now have like almost 12,000 members, including ourselves,
Yes,
which is
great.
quite an accomplishment. So how long ago did you start this page? And what was the purpose of it? What did you hope it would serve to the community?
Well, when I started following Facebook, because I didn't at the beginning, I joined a couple of free cycling pages across the city, plus here in Barrhaven, there was a few of them. And they were basically to help people by giving and picking up items that people no longer wanted. So that was great. But that's all that they could do. Their mandate was not to share community news. It was not to help people if people wanted a request for something, like information or whatever like that. If there was a lost pet or somebody found a dog running down the street, there was no place here to be able to post that. So I moved to Barrhaven in 1981 as a young mom with one child and expecting my second child. I've always been involved in the community. I helped Jan Harder with the children's softball leagues. I was an original member of the Barrhaven Women's Softball Association in 1987. And I was the president of that league for a 9-year span over the life. I stopped playing a few years ago because I'm a 150% person. And if I got too many injuries, and I knew eventually that if I kept going, that the injuries would take over my body. So I wanted to be able to walk. So I had to stop playing. But I've always been, this is my home and I've been here 39 years. So I just wanted to get to the community, get people who maybe are new to the community, to find out information, an easy place to go. And just
that touches on my next question too, because what I was going to ask you and what we're kind of leading into is, can you tell us how this page has helped the community? So,
well, I think we've gotten quite a few animals back home, and a spin-off, Lost and Found Pets of Barrhaven was created by a couple of very cat and dog worthy people as well. And so we kind of joined forces. So if it goes on that page, it comes onto the bulletin board page. Plus it goes on my Empties for Paws page, because I'm like all over the place. The more you get it here, the more you reach. Going to get it. I've had people contact me saying, I'm new to the community. I had no idea where I could find this, especially since Barrhaven has grown so much. We have to be careful too with people's privacy. And so we have some strict guidelines that not everybody likes all the time. But with social media, once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
So
so that sort of brings me to also like, how do you manage such a huge group? And there's got to be some challenges in that. So what would you say some of your biggest challenges would be?
Yeah, at first I was doing it alone for quite a long time. I had one helper. I won't release her name, just for her privacy as well. And then a couple of years ago, I had to expand. So I put out a feeler for people who would be interested in helping me moderate the page. You have to answer questions to make sure that why do you want to join the page?
Right.
We do put an age of 18 and over, because there could be some content coming through that, we don't feel is appropriate for the younger crowd. And just why did they want it to help out? So I have some ladies right now that are helping me moderate the page, so that when I'm super busy, they take over.
Okay.
And we have guidelines as to what kind of posts can go on and stuff like that. And it's worked really, really well. It's worked really, really well. And we have our own private page so that if somebody's going to be off for the day, especially, we have a young mom with kids that are working from home and they're not available, and people need holidays and time off and, things like that. We keep each other in tune as to who's available and who's not. So that's really helped me a lot because the Empties has grown so much this year. And
both two very big machines.
Exactly. And, so the challenges are that, as in any kind of social media thing, we have some people who troll, is the term that they use.
Can't get around that these days.
We can't get away from it. And we've had some issues with some people that have been very disrespectful. That's our big word, is respect on the page. And my parents always said, if you don't have something nice to say or something that's beneficial to say, don't say it. Just read it, move on. And unfortunately, we don't have that all the time. So that's a big thing. That's the hardest thing. But that 1% of people, we are not letting them ruin us.
Thank goodness for the other 99%.
99%.
The good people.
The good people. And, we get, so many nice messages and stuff. Thank you so much. I'm new to the neighborhood. I didn't know where to go. I've been able to find, people, that, have play date groups that have, whatever it is, or, something happened in my house and I had no idea where to go, or, especially during COVID, to support our local businesses and stuff like that. Now for the next couple of months, we're allowing businesses to post for free every Wednesday. They can advertise.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, they can advertise, their restaurants and, their services and stuff like that. We were doing it once a month, the first Wednesday. We called it Working Wednesday of every month. But till after Christmas, we'll do it every week. And then we'll judge if we need to keep doing it or not.
That's a big help to the businesses for sure. Getting out to that many people is a really big. And that kind of touched on to my final question about the page. You just talked about, the thank you messages and everything. Was there a really standout, rewarding moment for you with this page, or?
Yeah, I think this last year, we've had TV producers contacting me, wanting that they were doing specials. One was, especially around, Black Matters and, and things, with, the racist things and, trying to get people more aware and stuff like that. So we had, we've had two, a gentleman and a lady, contact us within the last few months, asking if they could post something on the page so that they could get feedback from people in the community on different topics and stuff like that. So I thought that to me was proof that we are doing something beneficial, on a larger scale than my cat got out of the house and somebody helped me find it, or there's a serious accident on the corner of Fallowfield and Greenbank. Avoid the area if you can. We also try to be a little bit careful because sometimes people will think of us as a Google page, and we'll ask different things that are happening and stuff like that. But we really want to respect the privacy of the people that, somebody could be having an injury in their home and there's an ambulance outside their house, and the police as well. We have to be very careful that we don't interfere in an investigation or things like that. So we're very, very careful about that. But just having, these outside groups contacting us to tell us that, this page is doing something.
And they're valuing the opinions of the people, and they think it's a movement big enough to
come
to you and to test. Yeah, that's incredible, Melody.
Yeah, that was quite like the first time I got it, I was like, oh my God, like are we
no doubt.
Are we famous? It's a big deal. It's a great deal.
That's awesome. So it's good. That's like I said, those are the things that outweigh the negative stuff. And we're never going to get away from the negative stuff. And, you know, the people who are benefiting from it, that to me is the most important, you know. And I'm really careful sometimes when I say my name out in public, even in Barrhaven, because I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, are you her?"
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, okay, what did I do now, you know, and stuff. And it was like, and they'd say, oh, no, do you run the Barrhaven page? Yes, you know, that, oh,
I'm gonna say, if you live in
A little
Barrhaven,
bit of a celebrity.
you're under a rock if you don't know Melody Lachance. So,
I know, but sometimes that's a little scary too, you know, it's
right?
like, you know,
A little
like
bit of recognition there.
That's great.
Yes, I love it. Well, okay, well that you know, we'll let you get back to all those things we just discussed, and it was such a pleasure talking to you and getting to know you. And I'm going to post, you know, of course you can go, if you haven't already and you live in Barrhaven, you join the page. I'm going to post the link to the page underneath, as well as the link to Empties for Paws, so other people can get mobilized and help you and find out. So thanks again.
And Melody, can I just show you my t-shirt?
Oh, yes, please.
My t-shirt. So it's going to look reverse. So, but anyway, so it's Empties for Paws, Barrhaven, and Empties for Paws, recycle for animals.
I love it.
I love it too. Can people get one of those or?
No, they're just kind of made for me.
Oh, right. Well, you're the leader of this group, so you get a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Thanks, Melody, so much. And
truly appreciate it, and much success to you and your real estate business as well.
Thank you.
I'm not selling it anytime soon, so
that's okay. That's okay.
That's a wrap. So that's a wrap for today. Please check us out our local community website at parkbench.com/Old Barrhaven. And if you're a local business or organization and would like to be featured by us on our site, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. And thanks again for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.